So welcome back to College Football 25 for the first time in a few days. First title update came out today, and now it addressed a lot of good things, but it also left behind one of my main concerns when it does come to Dynasty, which is the fact that my coach has not earned points to get better since year 1, maybe year 2. Your offline save has been patched to the latest version. That's good. Now let's see if we open this up and all of a sudden we've got a bunch of coach points. If that's the case, we don't have to restart, but I don't think that's how it's going to work. So we're still at 0 coach points. Even though the Dynasty has been patched, we really haven't done much of anything. Yes, we are into 2029, but I just think that this Dynasty is bugged because it doesn't seem like an issue a lot of people have, but it's an issue that I'm having with this Dynasty. I mean, we haven't earned points in a real long time, and just look at our abilities. I mean, what am I supposed to do with this? And it's just, we're not progressing, and apparently EA didn't find it a big enough issue to even address it. So our only hope is to restart and try it again. Well, there we are. 1.5 stars, 75s across the board, and not a lot of hope, at least for the foreseeable future when it comes to the CMU Chippewas. But away we go for take 2. Well, say hello to the new head coach of the Central Michigan Chippewas. If you listen to some people, he already is. Connor Stalions, to the best of our ability. Well, here we are again in our home screen for College Football 25 Dynasty. Now, we can go into custom schedules. This is the game that almost ended my life on release day against FCS Midwest. Well, FCS Midwest has been passed down some sanctions, as well as all of the FCS teams. They were found to be secretly using professional players. So, EA Sports has indeed confirmed to us that they are indeed using college athletes now and aren't fucking insane anymore. We're going to leave them on the schedule and see how they treat us in the sim. And setting up the recruiting board for the first time in the redo here at Building the Chippewas. Now, hopefully, as we move along, we can shoot our shot at some of the 4-stars and eventually into 5-star recruits. Probably not gonna happen here in year 1, but we already have a good idea of what we're gonna need, even though the game tells us that. Now, we don't exactly need a quarterback here. However, it wouldn't be a terrible thing to add one to the board. Now, we're just in recommended for the moment. Who's here? We do have an improviser, albeit a 2-star. I like the idea of this Nick DeCastro a little bit, but then where's the improviser? Well, I can't pronounce that name, so we aren't going to recruit him. We do have a field general down here in Cameron Rashid. Rashid? Who knows? Let's add him to the board, too. Now, running back is listed as in need. Maybe we'll get a chance to get Darius Taylor at the transfer portal at the end of year 1 again. Taylor draft. Will he get drafted? Probably not. But now we could also shoot some shots at some 4-stars. DeAndre Dingle. He's out of Georgia, so that's not exactly great. Listed as an athlete. Let's throw him on the board, but then also go back into recommended and try one of these guys. Shaquem Ingram. An elusive back. Let's go with him. Now, fullback, we know is in need because CMU doesn't have any fullbacks at the start. What's the highest star fullback we have here? It's looking like 3. It is indeed 3. So, who's available to us? You know what? Give me Nathan Square. Receiver is not listed as a need this year, so we're going to skip over that. Tight end isn't either. Offensive tackle, pretty much the entire offensive line, I would imagine, is indeed a need. So let's see what we've got here. Got Ngakoue, Daryl Drake. Actually, oh, that's a 1-star. Let's go with Daryl Drake and J.D. Pollock here. You know what? And also, Donnell Bale. For the guards, Tobias Tyree. I like the fact that we're second on his board already, even though he is a junior college sophomore, just to get this program up and running. And then we're also second on the board for Joey Rios here, which is a little bit surprising because he's from Green Bay, Wisconsin. 2-star, or 3-star rather, but second on our board, or on his board already, is CMU. So we'll add him. Center, not a need, so we'll skip over that. Defensive end. This was a need all the way up to the end of the first go at building the chips. We're second on Martin Fritz off rip. He's got Kent State leading his board. Go there. And there. Defensive tackle surely going to be a need. And how can we go wrong with a guy named Biggums? Add him. And then also, shout out Don Mulback. We got Randy Mulback here at defensive tackle. We're going to pretend there's some sort of relation to the former Lions long snapper. Outside linebackers, Bobby Gradkowski, sure. Need one on the left side that's a 3-star. Mike Tobin makes a lot of sense. Middle linebacker, Lane Aikman. 5th on his board, even though he's from Illinois. Those are 2 stars. 3rd on this 1-star. 10th on this 3-star out of Georgia. Ronnie Nix. Hell. Let's add him. Corner. We got another draft. Doug Draft. That ain't great. I feel like this is another position where we should take a shot at some 4 stars. Ezekiel Hillman. Toby Breckner. Is that it? No, there's a couple others that'll consider us. Tresman Good. We need some man-to-man corners. We need to pay more attention this time around to their tendencies to make sure they fit what we try and do. So Jimmy Alvarez is a man-to-man corner. What about any of these guys up top here? Breckner's slot. Hillman's man-to-man too. We're going to go after 2 4-star corners because Lord knows it's not going to go very well the first time. And then when we come into just the recommended, let's go for some guys that were already high up on their board. We got a 2-star here that we're second on, Hassan Barnes. And another 3-star in Chukwura. We'll add him. Free safety. Now this doesn't look particularly great, but we are actually first here on this 3-star. Alonzo Creech out of Ann Arbor. That's really interesting. Junior college sophomore. Add him to the board. And then stay away from any JUCO players for the most part. We also get Kyle D'Imperio over here. And Ricky Humphreys. To the strong safety, Angelo Free. We like hybrid safeties around here. And then Trent Azur. Just because. Kickers. We'll go any state on the kickers because recruiting kickers in this game is relatively easy. I was really hoping this guy's name was Lonzo. That would have been hilarious. Any funny kicker names? Because I feel like that's what we have to go after. Might as well go after the top kicker in the class. Why not? Looks like his interest is wide open right now. Rashawn Spoon, which is a funny enough name, I suppose. And then punter, not really a need. Do we have any hilarious names here? Oh, we're already 4th on this Stad McGlynn. Let's go after him. Should be easy enough. So only 29 of 35 potential targets, but feeling pretty comfortable with what we have right now. We didn't take too many shots here in this first year, so feeling good about it. We'll offer scholarships to everybody and regroup. We'll have some points left over, so hopefully we can get a head start here on some guys in short order. Oh, I can scout in that first week? Oh, well, oops. Now that's when we should have been scouting this whole time. Totally didn't even realize that. Oh, well. It's year 1. This class ain't gonna make a whole big a difference to us anyway, so... Oh, well. We're just hoping to get the guys we're looking after here in this class. So now, we move on. The only problem is, most of these guys we can only spend 50 hours on all year. So, it's a good thing we went after mostly 3 stars. We're going to have a real tough time getting 4 stars here in this first year, the way that this is going to go. So, what we need to do is spend 15 points on as many of these guys as we can to at least get some interest in here. And then leave some options open when it comes to, leave some options open when it comes to, some hard sells, soft sells, anything else. Only 50 if you don't use the cheat. We are not using the cheat for this purpose. Now, wait, did they fix that? If they didn't, that's actually kind of surprising, because I didn't read that in the patch notes earlier. I think we're actually going to be able to get almost everybody, at least these 15 hours, get something working on them, because that's where we wound up having a lot of trouble, was just that we couldn't spend hours on everybody right away, because we'd simulate a week and then all of a sudden we only had 5 hours to work with the next week. So like, what am I supposed to do with that? Oh, that's it. So we got almost everybody when it came to that 15-hour bit, just to get some interest. We're gonna miss out on the kicker and the punter as long as they don't name their top 8 here in the next little bit. We're gonna be fine, and we're actually first on McGlynn anyway, because I'd imagine we're his only offer, and we are. So hopefully Spoon doesn't name his top 8 right now. Well, we already got locked out on Ingram. I don't know, an offer and some interest apparently wasn't enough to crack the top 8, which is really bizarre. But that is what it is, so we'll just get him off the board. Not super necessary. Everyone else actually doing fairly well here. We only have 15 hours to spend on... Oh, my God. Well, so we can't do anything here on Molback. I mean, nobody. I mean, it's just we don't have enough hours to do anything outside of get some interest in with the kicker and Rashawn Spoon. Top kicker in the class, so, hey, hopefully that's going to be good for us someday, if we land him, of course. So with the nerfed FCS Midwest, the CMU Chippewas win 35-3. If you remember correctly, in the first go at building the chips, that game, which we played, wound up being a 71 to, I believe, 67-68 win. So that's about what you'd expect from an FCS opponent. Back to the recruiting board, and once again, we only have 15 hours. Now, the good news is that we're actually in the top 8. We're actually in the top 5 right now for DeAndre Dingle, one of the few 4-stars we went after. And we're leading on a bunch of these other guys. We're top 3 right now, and Randy Molback in second spot. A very conservative approach to recruiting in this season. We're locked out on Alvarez, not the biggest deal in the world. But we actually made Ezekiel Hillman's top 5, which is a little surprising, but I can't do anything else. So that's unfortunate. And I'm really not going to be able to do anything else on any of the players outside of McGlynn. I guess we can just force the issue and spend the 15 hours on a punter, but... Well, hello! It's taken 2 weeks here in this franchise, rather, Dynasty, to get MAC Offensive Player of the Week. Week 2 versus FIU. 3 catches, 117 yards, 2 touchdowns for Chris Parker, junior wide receiver. Hopefully we can have him next year as well. All right, well, CMU Chippewas have scored 35 points in back-to-back games, this time a 35-21 win over, Florida International, I believe? Yeah. I don't know why I didn't just look at that. It's right there. This is where the last dynasty fell apart, was the fact that we couldn't get coach points. We simulate 2 games, and we're already up to 35 coach points. So that's good news. So we can at least do something here. If we can do... Oh, we have to do this in... Do we have to do this in order? Or can we just get a little bit of everything? Not everything, but at least a head start. So we do indeed lose to Illinois. We kind of expected that here in year 1. 28-21. Played a close game against a Big Ten team, so honestly, we'll take that. Well, CMU opens up MAC play with a 35-21 win. 35 points is just the number. When we're winning games, we beat Ball State, and we move on to our final non-conference game of the year against San Diego State, who's winless on the year. Well, we can recruit again, and we have more than 15 hours, so that's good. We're behind on Nico DeCastro, to Connor Stalions' alma mater, the Navy midshipman. He's got a visit upcoming, but we are in his top 5. The only problem with the limited amount of hours we have right now is that our options are rather limited, so... I feel like we soft sell this. And I still don't really know how to do this exactly correct, because the grades on all this is terrible, but these are interests of his. But do we go with things that we do well? Like, the highest grades we have here, playing style, proximity to home, so is that the move? I don't know. A little bit of an experiment here in year 1 with Nico DeCastro here, and see if this works, to see if we jump to the top of his board somehow. And then we have 10 points to spend on other actions here, so what I think we're going to do is go add 2 more prospects to our board and just spend those on scholarships. It was always a need in the first attempt, so we're going to go back to defensive end. See if we can't get some guys. Got some Michigan guys here. Alex Hamrick. And an athlete in Greg Wentz. Sure, we'll go with those guys. Now wait, did this always happen? Adding more prospects to your board just gives you hours? What are we... What? Huh? I don't feel like I remember that happening before. Oh, boy. That seems like something that people could exploit. Well, I guess we're just going to fill our board then. 3-star athlete. That's a quarterback. Cameron Madden. Second on the board. Fuck it, why not? That scrambler? It is. Well, all of a sudden that glitch kind of stopped. I don't know what the hell was happening. We kept adding guys to our board and we kept getting more hours, but board's filled up. We can't offer a scholarship to Leckerkirker yet, but the 2-star. I don't think he's going anywhere next week. Well, we didn't score 35, which means we lose. 31-23 loss to San Diego State right before our bye week. CMU goes to 3-2, but undefeated in MAC play in 1 attempt. 40 hours to spend this week. We apparently have a deal breaker with DeAndre Dingle all of a sudden. That's a bit unfortunate. But we have seen in the past where these go away. So hopefully that happens, and we have a chance at one of the few 4-stars we targeted. We are in the top 3 for Donnell Bale, with Max School, Northern Illinois, also looking to get him. Now, we have 40 hours, so we can afford to soft sell 2 guys. And I don't really know what the right move is going to be when it comes to him. Let's go. He's only got one interest unlocked, so there's a decent chance that proximity to home is a big interest for him. Playing time isn't, but that's a good grade for us. Let's go with that. A lockdown on Fritz, not a big loss, only a 3-star. We're still right in there with Tyree. Now let's go with Lane Aikman here. And soft sell him as well. I'm going to try and hit proximity to home and campus lifestyle, if that's at all possible. And then program tradition, which is also an interest of his, so let's go with that. We go back into upgrade coach skills. Got 10 points to work with, so we can unlock this. And then we can also head into... oh, wait. Oh, so we only unlocked the one off rip, so we have to focus on recruiter. Unless, can I... I can't unlock them. Do we have to... what do we have to do? Like, max out this first tier to be able to move on somewhere else? I have no idea. So, what we'll do... I feel like offensive line is a good spot to put some of those points. Oh, wait. What? Did that cost 10? What the fuck? I thought we had 10. I think all of these cost 5. Oh, only 10 hours to work with. We're still locked out when it comes to Dingle, but we are his only offer. So as long as Auburn doesn't do anything too crazy, I think we're going to be in good shape there. We're still trailing on Bale. I used 5 for kicker and punter. What? If I did, I didn't mean to. Really close in here with Tobias Tyree. I'm getting the feeling that selling... oh, wait, right. We only have 10 hours. Getting the feeling that selling people on things that aren't interests of theirs doesn't work at all. I mean, with 10 hours, I don't even know if there's anything we can do outside of offer scholarships. I mean, we can go in and do a little bit on these guys. I mean, we totally forgot about them. Well, it's not 35 points, but it is 31. The only problem I see here is that we allowed 21 points to an 0-6 Ohio Bobcats team, but I guess at the end of the day, we are 2-0 in MAC play, so this year one shaping up a lot like the first. So into recruiting, and we actually have 70 hours to work with. Now, we're going to miss out on Nico DeCastro. He was the scrambler. The one I was more interested in the first place was Cameron Rashed, who knows? So we'll just forget DeCastro. We're still locked out on Dingle, but still just very close with Auburn, although Tennessee is kind of creeping up there. This is going to be a good week to get some work in on guys which we are trailing on. Now, the only problem with that is 25 points on Rios. We're not going to have enough to do this on a lot of guys here. So we're going to have to do it on guys that we're trailing on. Lane Aikman. We actually only have 15 hours to spend here, so that doesn't really work. There's nothing that costs 15. We can take a shot in the dark when it comes to Chukwura here. But at this point, I don't even know if it's worth it. I mean, he's so close when it comes to Eastern and with a visit scheduled. And now we really do have to balance visits now because those were always really bugged from the release of this game. Now we can actually hopefully use them. And hopefully we actually get some more hours to the point that we can reliably do that and not screw ourselves in other areas if we can upgrade our coach in the meantime. So we're still leading on Rashawn Spoon, only offer in on him, which is a little surprising given that he's the top kicker in the class. You'd think somebody would want to go after this guy, but maybe these teams just don't care about kicking. We're still leading on the punter. So I think what we do is spend the 15 on as many of these guys as we can, which is going to be all of 3 of them. But it's some action, and hopefully... Oh, right, we didn't even offer a scholarship to this guy yet. Hopefully these guys don't go anywhere here in the next week, and we might just be okay. Oh, Christ, we lost to Eastern by a point. Eastern Michigan goes to 3-4. 1-2. We were their first MAC win. That's not good. This defense is really letting us down. The offense is there most weeks. I mean, what's our lowest point total? I mean, our lowest point total is, I think, 21, which really isn't all that bad. Back into recruiting, 30 hours to spend. Rashid was the quarterback. I mean, let's see if there's somewhere else that these points should go. Tobias Tyree to Eastern after their win. Joey Rios is so close to Northern Illinois. We might as well take him off the board. That was a waste of points. Thinking about Faria there. But we also should look at these guys down here. Now, wait a minute. 70 hours, all of a sudden. What the fuck? I'm so confused as to what's happening. 15. 15. A scholarship. And then 15. And then we got 20 hours to soft sell somebody with. Who are we close on with someone? Toledo for Alonzo Creech. What do we got going on? Now, the good news is that proximity to home is an interest, and that's an A+, so we got that going on for us. I think it's pretty easy to determine what his other interest is. That's the only question mark left, so we're going to hit that and hope for the best when it comes to Alonzo Creech. Oh, well, that's our worst game of the season. Miami of Ohio is at 6-2, 4-0 in the MAC, and they basically hammered us, 28-13. Ouch. We're still locked out on Dingle, but somehow, some way, I guess because we're the only offer in here, we've actually surpassed Auburn. I have no idea. And that grade on the playing style is getting even worse. The second that Dingle gets any other interest, we're boned. But for the moment, we're all right. So 40 hours. We're actually fairly close here on Faria. Let's spend 20 of them on a soft sell for him. Let's hit proxy. Let's just hit all the interests. I feel like that's got to be the way to go. Even though the grades are terrible, I'm just so confused as to how that works. Scheduling a visit costs 40 fucking hours. Now wait a minute. We're in the top 5 again. I guess maybe because we're so late in the season, we only have that game. Dude, I don't know. It just, that whole mechanic doesn't really seem to make a whole lot of sense to me. Like, I don't know why we're locked out of the visit anyway. Like, I can't schedule a visit for Knicks. I can't schedule a visit for anybody, even though we're top 5. I really don't know how that works, which is why I don't know. I just don't bother with it. I mean, I guess it's worth a shot on the safety here. We'll give it a go. You gotta teach me how to fucking play this game. Dude, I don't know what I'm doing. For a battle of 4-4 teams, we head back to recruiting. 70 hours to work with. J.D. Pollock at right tackle would be a good one to spend some of these on. We can do like 2 soft sells and a sway. So I think that's what we're going to do. I mean, these grades are terrible, but I tried the other way around. That didn't seem to do anything, so we're going to do that for J.D. Pollock. We've been locked out by Faria. Well, we tried. Committed to Miami. We'll get him off the board. We're trailing here on Bobby Gradkowski, the outside linebacker. Try and soft sell him as well, although his interests are not exactly things we do well. So my hopes are not high. Tobin, I mean, I don't know. We're pretty far behind on this, but we could indeed sway. So we're gonna try and do that. Hopefully we sway him on proximity to home. We don't have much else going for us. Well, Nolan Ziegler does indeed win MAC Defensive Player of the Week. Holy shit. 9 solo tackles. No pass deflections, tackles for loss, but 9 tackles itself earns him the Defensive Player of the Week honors. Holy! Where has that CMU been the last couple weeks? 30-9. Defense really woke up, but maybe it was just solely Noah Ziegler, as we are kind of on the outside looking in, I would imagine, when it comes to the MAC title game with 2 losses. We got some big games coming up. 4-1 in MAC play is Toledo. 5-0 is Western Michigan with a trophy on the line. And then Northern Illinois to end the season. I mean, winning out would be great. I just don't see it happening. But CMU is indeed a win away from bowl eligibility here in year 1. 35 hours and we've been jumped on Rashid, who knows. But we haven't really done anything with him in a long time. So we can't hard sell. We could only sway. Why am I bad? I don't know. Didn't do anything. It's all current CMU. Oh, Christ. What do we do? Let's give this a go. Now, this wasn't a need, but it's a player I don't know. Just having a field general quarterback on the team is something we never really accomplished all that well in the first go at this. So I'd really like to have him. So in 15 hours to spend, we've lost a good chunk of our targets here. So you know what? Let's just go with some of these recommendeds. Actually, not those guys. 3-star defensive tackle. 3-star defensive end. Athlete that's something on the defensive line. Let's go with him. Let's go offer those scholarships. Good to see that we still indeed Can we even offer us? We can't offer a scholarship. This guy's already got a deal breaker with us. How do we not have the playing time he needs? What? Well, I guess we'll offer scholarships to those two and hope for the best, I guess. What the hell? Oh-ho! Wow. That win might just indeed turn our season around. A 15-12 win over Toledo, who I think may have been, I could be wrong on this, could have been one of the major hurdles left when it comes to making the MAC title game. Now, so we are actually firmly in the picture when it comes to making the MAC championship game. However, pretty much the only path is beating Western Michigan this week. They are the current best team in the MAC and have not been beaten in MAC play. And they're only slightly better than us. Now, I'd love to do more on Cameron Rashid, but just nothing else we can do. We're still locked out when it comes to Dingle because of the deal breaker. And that grade continues to go down. Now we have a D when it comes to a playing style. We need a B-, so I don't know what the hell we're doing wrong. But we're doing something he doesn't like. The good news is, no progress from any other schools. We have a very, very slight lead on J.D. Pollock, but again, the way, with 50 hours, you just can't really get it right more often than not. out on Gradkowski, out on Tobin, out on Aikman, out on Chukwara, out on Creech. All of a sudden, we only have 26 targets. Make it 25. We're out on Dennis Holiday. And then we still have this playing time deal breaker on Martin Fritz. So I think the best thing that we can do is the good old 15-hour strat. Now, we can't spend 15 hours on somebody else that we add to the board here. But we can at least offer him a scholarship and get something going. So we're gonna do that. Alex Ficken, welcome to the board. Holy shit, they did it. 36 points, a season high, against a team that was undefeated in the conference. 36-24 win at home over Western Michigan. And now it's looking like a win against a team below 500, not going to make a bowl game, Northern Illinois. We're that close to the MAC championship game here. No, we're not. I totally lied. I forgot how things work, apparently. We have 2 conference losses. Western Michigan has 1. So that means they are still in the advantage when it comes to that. We're going to need Western to lose in their final game of the regular season to make the MAC title game. But that was our 7th win, so we might be on the precipice of a decent enough bowl game for us here in year 1. 55 hours to spend here on the last week of the regular season. We can't do anything when it comes to Rashed. Gonna have to spend these as wisely as we can. We just haven't gotten a single commit. We're locked out on the safety. No competition on the kicker or the punter. Ramon Rush is a guy that we haven't really spent a lot of time on. Problem is, these just take so many hours to the point that we can't get the math right. So it seems. So contact the friends and family. I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna have 5 hours left to spend on somebody. Hopefully there's somebody on this board that we haven't done that with yet. Good there. Not good here, but Eric Ellerby has offers from Auburn and Florida State. That seems like a losing battle, but when we go down here to Darrell Lawton, that's someone we can make some progress on. And then 5 hours. Oh, right, yes, this is actually going to work out perfectly. Alex Ficken, the guy we added last week. 5 hours there. That's our recruiting for the week. So let it be known that we went through the entire regular season without a single commitment. So I'm going to assume that that's some sort of tuning that they wanted to do or whatever. But we couldn't do anything else. So what did we do in the final week? Oh, Christ. 3-point loss to Northern Illinois. Team that finishes the season at 5-7. We finish at 7-5, 5th in conference. Well, we'll have a decent enough bowl game. We're just going to have to hope that it can go a little bit longer when it comes to Rashed, if we really do want him on this team. Something tells me we're not getting J.D. Pollock. That's a little unfortunate. Ohio State seemingly out of nowhere. With Navy and Central Michigan as competition, what does Ohio State see in this guy? I mean, we just went after guys that nobody else wanted, it appears. And the points that we have spent on guys that have been garnering interest from other schools really haven't gone anywhere. We still got this deal breaker with Fritz. Locked us out, but nobody else has any interest in him. I still can't even offer him a scholarship. I mean, I guess if you want to walk on, so be it. Jeremiah Franks. Oh, wait, we have 15 hours. What am I going to do with that? Outside of add just any sort of prospect of any sort to this board. Yeah, I'm just so clueless as to how it works. Like, I'm sure there's some people that have somehow figured it out, even though it seems very inconsistent. Like, I just don't know what to do to be good at it, but I guess starting with a school like Central Michigan is probably not the greatest way to figure that out. So I do believe we've reached early National Signing Day. Daryl Drake, left tackle, has committed. Maybe we haven't, because that's our only one. It took until the end of the regular season to get a commit. So actually, some of these are 10 points. I don't know why we can't purchase the ones that are 15. We're just gonna unlock some of these now, just while we have the points. Might as well do it here early in this one. Well, as in year one, Jalen Milroe wins the Heisman, although he only threw just over 3,000 yards. 27 touchdowns, 4 picks. That won the Heisman? Oh, Cox. Now, wait a minute. What the fuck is the Detroit Bowl? What the hell is this? We're matched up against the Big Ten's Michigan State Spartans, which in the first attempt at building the Chippewas, Michigan State stole recruit after recruit after recruit from us. Now, unless, I don't know, maybe the Quick Lane Bowl is changing names or something, and they had to do something to fill this in. I guess, because otherwise, why would the Ford Field logo be in here? But the Detroit Bowl? It's not even a real bowl game. I mean, it's a real bowl game, but it doesn't have a name.